Just making some sparrows. I'm making a limited series of 6 using walnut. I bought a nice plank. This is just the bit that's left of black walnut. Quite expensive, I have to say. Which I'm using for all the mechanism parts. Basically this frame I'm making, I've made it out of each piece. All of these pieces actually 2 lengths stuck together just to give it more strength and stability. So I had to cut those down. So I'm making 8. So what I've done, I had to put the wood through a planer thicknesser to get the exact size, and then I've made a whole batch of 8 of the parts. Here they are, rough cut. Makes sense to make these as a batch, because once you've got the thicknesser exactly right, you can run them all through. The mechanism parts also, I've cut all 8. You see quite a few of them here, quite complicated shapes, some of them. If you can see that one. There's little bits inset so that the grain's going that way down there, but this way along here for maximum strength. Again, it makes sense to make a batch of all 8 of those at the same time once you've got the I use them at CNC machine, prototyping machine. Makes sense to get them all cut at the same time once you've got the machine set up, else it would take forever to keep resetting it. So they're made out of American cherry wood. This is just a small bit. I buy a plank, usually about 8 foot long, 2.2 metres, 2.4 metres. That's the longest bit I can fit in the car. I have to order it in from a wood yard. It comes pretty rough, as you can see. Not all of it's usable, fortunately. It has to be. I have to cut it down and then put it through the planer thicknesser to get. I usually get it down to either 2mm or 4mm, depending if I'm going to layer it or not. Oops, knocked the walnut over. So there we've got all the parts, the body parts, etc. But that's as far as I take the big batch. After that, I just make a couple at a time, because now we're into the more fine handwork, crafting, and I find if you try and do too many at the same time, then that quality is likely to drift. It gets a little bit boring, to be honest, if you're making loads. So for instance, the wings here, you can see I've just finished them with some gesso. Just for strength, these have a brass wire going into them, but for strength what I've done is put in a, again if you can see it, a brass bushing in each one, a little hole in it. Again, that's all done one at a time to make sure, because you've got exactly the right placement so that it fits against the wing. It's going, there's the hole that the axle's coming through. It's got to fit exactly in that space, and that brass fitting has to be exactly right, otherwise the wing sits wrong. Again with the beaks there, here's the beak mechanism. It just plugs in, so basically I've got a 4mm brass tube there, and then a brass rod which I've had to machine out by hand again, and that's an exact fit again onto the beak. It has to be just the right length so that it fits into the, let's have a look, fits into the head. Get it to fit, there we are. So then it fits and the jaw moves, and then that of course goes into the body. The body actually has a bushing again, which has to be cut to exact fit on there, and that fits into the body. So it makes sense to do those just in small numbers. So I'll make 2, and once they've sold I'll make another 2 until I've made the full series of 8. So next job, I've just dried the gesso. I did that yesterday, so now I'm going to start painting them before I get to the varnishing stage, and then fun of fitting them all together. Thanks for watching. See you next time.